Right now, someone is using you. Not because they are smarter than you. Not because they work harder than you. Because you never learned the rules of the game they have already been playing. For years, right in front of your face. You walk into rooms and you give your energy. You give your loyalty. You give your time, your ideas, your patience. And the people around you take all of it and pocket it like a quiet transaction. You think you are building relationships. They think they have found a resource. And the worst part? You already feel it. That tight, low feeling in your chest when someone takes credit for something you built. That quiet anger when you are passed over again for someone louder, someone bolder, someone who gave less but demanded more. That moment you swallow your own words because you believe silence is peace. It is not peace. It is surrender. And after this video, that ends. Either you will walk away from this screen a different man, sharper, more deliberate, harder to reach, or you will walk away a monster. The difference between the two is a single word: intention. Let me validate something for you first, because no one else has. You are not failing because you are weak. You are not being overlooked because you lack talent. You are suffering because you were handed the wrong map. Since you were a child, you were told a story about how the world works. Work hard, stay loyal, be honest, be kind, be patient, and the world will eventually recognize you and reward you. Now look around you with clear eyes. The men who got the promotions, were they the most dedicated people in the room? The men who command immediate respect everywhere they go, were they the most gentle? The people who currently hold power over the direction of your life, did every single one of them earn that power through pure virtue? No, they did not. And you know they did not. You were given a map designed to keep you walking in circles. And the people who handed you that map, they needed you lost. They needed you compliant. They needed you to believe that ambition is selfish, that strategy is manipulation, and that protecting yourself is somehow cruelty. Because a man who has never been shown his own power is the easiest man alive to control. You were not broken. You were deliberately programmed to stay manageable. 500 years ago, in the political gutters of Renaissance Florence, a man wrote a book so dangerous, the church attempted to destroy it. So threatening to the ruling class that kings kept it locked away, not from their enemies,
fear,
but from the very people they ruled over.
desire.
His name was Machiavelli. He was not a villain. He was not a teacher of evil. He was something far more uncomfortable. He was a mirror. He looked at the world not as men wished it to be, but as it actually operated. In the dark, behind closed doors, behind every smile and every handshake. And he wrote one sentence that permanently altered the architecture of human power. It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Not because cruelty is a virtue, but because in a world that will exploit your softness, a man without edges is a man without protection. Machiavelli did not teach men to be monsters. He taught men to stop pretending the monsters around them did not exist. Lesson 1, the illusion of niceness. Niceness is not your personality. It is a negotiation strategy you never chose. Think about that carefully. You are not agreeable because it is who you truly are at your core. You are agreeable because at some point in your life, you learned that being difficult had consequences and being easy had rewards. And you adapted. But Machiavelli understood something you were never taught. People do not respect what arrives without cost. When you give freely and without condition, you are not seen as generous. You are seen as predictable. And predictable men are not admired. They are used. Think about the last time you said yes when every part of you was screaming no. Think about exactly who benefited from that yes. Now ask yourself honestly, did they ever once ask what it cost you? Starting today, before you agree to anything, pause. On full breath. Ask yourself, is this a genuine choice, or is this a habit running on autopilot? Your yes must mean something again, or it means nothing at all. Drop this in the comments. My yes is earned, not given. At Lesson 2, the power of controlled image. You're not being judged by who you actually are. You are being judged by the story people have quietly assembled about you, from your body language, your reactions, your silences, the speed of your words, and the way you carry yourself when you think no one is watching. Machiavelli was obsessed with perception, not because appearances matter more than substance, but because in almost every human interaction, perception is the reality that people act on. The man who loses his composure in a room does not just lose an argument. He loses his rank in that room permanently. The man who speaks last, slowly, and with total certainty, commands more weight than the man who spoke the loudest. Starting today, control one single thing about how you present yourself. Walk slower, speak less. Hold eye contact 3 seconds longer than feels natural. Then watch quietly what shifts in how people respond to you. Bound Lesson 3, know your enemies before they know themselves. Most men waste their energy fighting visible enemies, people who challenge them openly and directly. Machiavelli's warning cuts deeper than that. Your real enemies are not the ones who argue with you. They are the ones who call themselves your friends. The colleague who praises your idea in private, then quietly dismantles it in meetings. The person who celebrates your failures with just enough sympathy to seem loyal. The friend who is always in need of something from you, but who is somehow never available when the need is yours. This knowledge is for protection, not destruction. You are not learning this to become a predator. You are learning this because predators already exist in your world, and you have been walking among them completely unarmed. Starting today, watch what the people around you do, not what they say. Loyalty is shown in inconvenient moments, not convenient ones. Drop this in the comments. I see clearly now. Lesson 4, silence as dominance. Weak men fill every silence. They explain, they justify, they overshare. They hand their enemies a detailed map to every insecurity, every wound, every vulnerability they carry. Because they cannot tolerate the discomfort of being misunderstood. Machiavelli understood that a man who reveals everything about himself gives others every tool they need to predict him. And a man who can be predicted can be controlled. The most powerful move in any room is the ability to say absolutely nothing and make everyone in that room feel as if they have missed something important. Silence is not absence. Silence is weight. Silence is a wall they cannot climb. Starting today, in your next difficult conversation, say 30% less than you planned. Sit inside the silence you create. Watch how quickly others rush to fill it and what they expose when they do. Drop this in the comments. I protect my silence like it is currency. Lesson 5, the fortress within. Machiavelli wrote at length about physical fortresses, structures built to protect rulers from attack and siege. But he understood that the most important fortress was never made of stone. Most men are psychologically unfortified. Their emotional state depends entirely on other people's approval. Their confidence collapses the moment someone questions them. Their decisions waver under pressure. This is not a weakness of character. This is the direct result of never having been shown how to build internal walls. The man who governs his own emotional state walks into every room already holding the advantage. He cannot be rattled. He cannot be baited. He cannot be broken by opinion. Starting today, the next time someone attempts to provoke a reaction from you, pause for exactly 3 seconds before you respond. Those 3 seconds are the walls of your fortress being built in real time. Use them every single time. Drop this in the comments. I am the destination, not the pursuit. Lesson 6, the weapon of strategic patience. Every man who has ever been dismissed, overlooked, or outmaneuvered has made the same foundational mistake. He moved too early, from a place of emotion, and he showed his full hand before the moment was ready for him. Machiavelli's most underrated teaching is not about aggression. It is about timing. Lions do not chase every animal that moves. Rivers do not fight the rock in their path. They move around it quietly until the day the rock simply no longer exists. The men who appear untouchable are not untouchable because they are more powerful. They are untouchable because they chose precisely the right moment to act, and every wrong moment to wait. Starting today, identify one situation in your life where you have been reacting from emotion rather than calculation. Make the decision to stop, observe, let them move first, then move once, cleanly, decisively, without warning. The man who sat down to watch this video, the one who gave too much, trusted too quickly, reacted too fast,
Welcome to the family.
and made himself smaller to keep a peace that was never actually real. That man is gone. The old you is dead. What is left is something the world around you was not prepared for. A man who sees the game, a man who knows the rules, a man who moves with intention rather than reaction. You are a weapon pointed at your own future. You were not put here to be palatable. You were not designed to be comfortable. For people who need you to stay small so they can feel large. You were not built to absorb other people's failures and call it loyalty. You belong to no one, not to their expectations, not to their definitions, not to the version of you they require to stay manageable. The game has always been operating around you, in every room, in every relationship, in every conversation where you walked away, feeling like something had been quietly taken. The only difference between then and now is that you finally have the rules. Use them with precision. Use them with patience. Use them with complete, unshakable purpose. If this video reached something inside you, a part of you that recognized these words before you even finished hearing them, then you already know what you are becoming. You do not need me to tell you to subscribe. Men who are actively building themselves seek out the tools that sharpen them. They do not need to be persuaded. This channel is one of those tools, built for exactly the kind of man who made it to the end of this video. If that is you, you already know what to do. Subscribe not for me. Subscribe for the version of you that is still being forged. And before you leave this page, I have one question for you in the comments below. What is the single moment in your life where you wish you had known Machiavelli's rules, and what would you have done completely differently?